They soar through the skies, they breathe fire, they guard treasures buried deep beneath mountains, they destroy kingdoms or save them. Dragons. Mythical, majestic, terrifying, beloved. For thousands of years, across continents, cultures, and centuries, human beings have told stories about dragons. But here's the strange part. Many of those civilizations had no contact with one another, yet all of them spoke of dragons. Why? Where did the dragon come from? What did it represent? And why has it endured for so long in our myths, dreams, and nightmares? To find out, we must go back to a time when thunder was the voice of gods, when bones spoke from beneath the earth, and when fire was both friend and destroyer. Back to a time when the world was explained not through science, but through story. Two worlds, one beast. In the East, the dragon was sacred. In ancient China, the lung was no monster. It had no wings, yet it soared through clouds, it danced in mist, summoned rainfall, and governed the elements. Far from being feared, it was venerated. The dragon stood for harmony, prosperity, and cosmic balance. Emperors claimed to descend from dragons. Entire dynasties built their legitimacy around its divine power. Even today, dragons are embedded in Chinese New Year celebrations, in architecture, and in dreams of greatness. But in the West, dragons were something else entirely. The European dragon was a creature of nightmare. It had wings like a bat, scales like armor, and breath that could melt stone. It curled atop mountain peaks or guarded the entrances to dark, winding caves. It devoured livestock, it razed villages, it stole princesses. It was a symbol of greed, evil, and chaos. It was the beast that only the bravest knight or the holiest saint could dare to face. How could one creature be so different in two parts of the world? The answer lies not in the dragon, but in us. In China, the worldview was shaped by Taoist balance and Confucian order. Nature was sacred, not hostile. The dragon fit that vision, a divine force to respect and uphold. In medieval Europe, the landscape was harsher, colder, shaped by fear, plague, and religious struggle. The dragon became a vessel for everything humanity feared: sin, pride, lust, and death. Two dragons, two reflections, one ancient fear. But what if dragons weren't entirely made up? Imagine you're a traveler in a forgotten age. You hike through rugged hills or windswept deserts and stumble upon something buried in stone. A jawbone, massive and sharp, a rib cage longer than a horse, curved teeth, and a long, spiraled spine. You bring it back. The elders gather around. No one's seen anything like it. They say, "It must be a dragon." In central China, such bones were often dug up, crushed, and sold as traditional medicine. Dragon bones. We now know many of these were fossils, remnants of dinosaurs that roamed the earth millions of years before humans. In Mongolia's Gobi Desert, fossilized skulls of Protoceratops, a beaked, frilled dinosaur, were so strange they could easily be mistaken for horned, sleeping monsters. Add to that the terrifying creatures humans actually did encounter: giant snakes that swallowed prey whole, crocodiles that dragged men into the water, Komodo dragons with venomous bites and leathery hides. To early humanity, the dragon wasn't a fantasy, it was a warning, a memory, a whisper from deep within the earth. The dragon is not bound to east or west. It appears everywhere, shaped by local fears, terrain, and belief. In Mesopotamia, the sea goddess Tiamat, often shown as a multi-headed serpent, was the embodiment of chaos itself. In Norse mythology, Nidhogg gnawed at the roots of Yggdrasil, the world tree, threatening to bring about the end of all things. The Aztecs worshipped Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent god of wind, creation, and knowledge. In Japan, the dragon god Ryujin ruled an undersea kingdom of coral, guiding tides and controlling storms. In Vietnam, an ancient myth claims the Vietnamese people were born from the union of a dragon father and fairy mother, a legacy of pride and ancestry. In every one of these tales, the dragon is never just a beast. It is power, chaos, creation, judgment. It is nature deified. What is it about dragons and fire? Because fire, too, is a paradox. It warms our homes but burns them down. It cooks our food but destroys forests. It gives life and takes it away. To imagine a creature that can control fire is to imagine a god or a devil. In Christian Europe, the fire-breathing dragon wasn't just an animal, it was evil incarnate, a living embodiment of temptation and sin. That's why saints like St. George became famous not just for piety, but for slaying dragons. To kill a dragon was to conquer evil, to cleanse the land, to triumph in a holy war. But in China, the dragon didn't breathe fire. It breathed mist. It gave rain instead of destroying with flame. Its breath nourished rice fields, filled rivers, and ended droughts. Two elements, two meanings. One burns, one gives life. The dragon becomes a mirror of what each culture most reveres or most fears. But let's ask something deeper. Why does the dragon guard treasure? In myths, it's gold, jewels, crowned relics buried deep within mountain vaults. But in truth, the treasure is symbolic. It's knowledge, it's truth, it's the final reward after facing fear. In the hero's journey, the dragon is the final trial, the guardian between the self and transformation. To defeat the dragon is to conquer not just a monster, but a part of yourself. Psychologists like Carl Jung called it the shadow, the part of us we're afraid to face. The dragon is that shadow. The treasure is growth. Every knight fights the dragon alone. Every hero must earn the right to take what lies beyond the flame, and in doing so, they change. Dragons are ancient, but they're far from extinct. They've simply adapted. They live now in books and board games, in anime and fantasy novels, in blockbusters and bedtime stories. They've evolved. Smaug is cunning and greedy, sleeping in gold. Drogon is wild, destructive, yet loyal to his queen. Toothless is playful and heroic, breaking centuries of fear. Falkor is kind, wise, and oddly hopeful. Today, a dragon can be friend or foe, villain or savior, gentle giant or apocalyptic beast. Why do we still love them? Because in a world that often feels mapped and measured, dragons represent the unknown. They remind us that not everything has been conquered, that some mysteries still breathe. The fire that never dies. So the next time you see a dragon carved in stone or animated on screen or tattooed on someone's back, pause, look closer. You're not just seeing a fantasy, you're seeing a symbol, a reflection of ancient fears, of timeless hopes, of our desire to master the chaos both around us and within us. Because to chase the dragon is to chase transformation. If you've enjoyed this journey through myth and meaning, through fire and flight, subscribe to the Myth Archive. There are more legends waiting to rise, more beasts to awaken, and more truths to uncover in the embers of old stories. Thank you for watching, and remember, every myth hides a mirror, every dragon tells a story, and sometimes that story is ours.